Hello, this is Cassie Rafe. I'm your math coordinator in Houston County. Thank you for agreeing to do this video. This is problem number 18 on the practice test. The practice test is modeled after problems that have been already given by the state, so it's very important that students know how to work these problems. One kind of really cool thing is that your teacher feels like you are a person who is good at math and who people like and who people will listen to, and therefore your teacher has nominated you to do this particular problem, number 18. So we really do appreciate you agreeing to do this, and best of luck. Use my video as a guide, almost like a script. It doesn't have to be word for word, but it should be pretty close because I'm saying the important things that kids need to know in order to be able to work this problem. This is problem number 18, where you've got two parallel lines that are cut by transversals. It wants to know the measure of A, B, D. In all problems, but especially in geometry problems, they love to give you a problem where you have to work a whole bunch of stuff out, but then ask you a question separately. And so it's very important to keep track of what was I asked for again? Okay? It's asking you for angle ABD, so don't lose sight of that. That's the green angle up at the top with the question mark. Alright, so first of all, if this is 118 degrees right here, alright, remember that if you are going from one side of a line all the way to the other, that arc that I just drew in red, that's 180 degrees. If you take 180 minus the 118 that's already in the big angle, okay, so 10, 7, that would be 62 degrees. You know that this angle is 62 degrees. Does that make sense so far? Okay. Now, here's what you need to look at right here. If this one is 62, focus in on, and let me just draw some gray stripes, this triangle. Do you recall how many degrees are inside of a triangle? Always, always, always. If you said 180, then you're correct, okay? 180 degrees are inside of a triangle. Now look at this again. You already have 90 right here where the box is. That means a 90-degree angle. And 62 already accounted for. So 90 and 62, if you add those, that's 152 degrees that you already know. Alright, there are 180 degrees in the entire triangle, so if you subtract the two that you already know, that'll give you the third angle. So 180 minus 152. Big rule of thumb that I would suggest is sometimes they add as A, B, C, D, known as the distractors. They'll add problem answers to the problems that are miscalculations, like they might write 38 and 28 in here. Look, they did it. If you look at D, it says 38 and 28. They've got those numbers in there. In other words, they're expecting you maybe to make a subtraction error, which I don't think is necessarily fair, but that's how they do it. They're hoping that you do. So my advice is pick up your calculator, even in simple calculations, and go ahead and type it in. Let your calculator do it correctly. Okay, just be careful. Sometimes those calculator buttons stick. But you know that this is 28 degrees right here. Okay? Alright. Now, what I want you to do is kind of ignore, let me just go and highlight everything. You know that this is 28 degrees. Ignore all of this stuff back here just a second. Okay? And just look at what you've got right here. In other words, let me draw it. You have two parallel lines because they told you these two lines are parallel. Okay? The one here's A, and here's B, and here's D. Alright? You've got two parallel lines. When another line goes through it, it's called a transversal. So you have two parallel lines cut by a transversal. And note, down here is 28 degrees. Well, it's called alternate interior angles, but this is what I call it. I call it the elbows of the Z. If you can make a Z, upside down, backwards, whatever. If you see a Z, okay, and the two arms of the Z are the parallels, and these are, okay, then the elbows of the Z have the same measure. So this one's 28 down here, this elbow up here is 28 also then. And that happens to be the one that they're asking about. Okay? So in the end, the answer is A, 28 degrees. Thanks for doing number 18 for us. We appreciate it. Best of luck in your filming.